ReefDVMs coming at you with pressure canning garden beets for winter. It's one of the fall projects we do. We head out and grab the beets before the frost comes in and takes them out. Basically just throw them in a 5-gallon pail. This time of year the clay is kind of hard, so they come out a little tough. But the frosts are upon us and we need to kind of get it done. I like to just kind of head into the garage and just kind of cut the tops off and cut the bottoms off. And the beet tops themselves we make into like a spinach if we'd like. But the bottoms, the little tough part at the bottom and that little bit of beet top at the top, we just kind of throw away and just cut these off. Now you notice I'm not doing a ton of washing on them. I'm gonna let the boiling process do it to help me get the skins off. I throw them into a big old pot. I fill it up with water and I boil them for about maybe 10 minutes in there. Just enough to get the skin soft enough I can peel them off. Sometimes they don't always come off with your fingers, and you can quick use a peeler to get the last little pieces off like I'm doing here. But again, if you cook them long enough, maybe even 20 or 30 minutes, depending upon your type of beet, the skins will slide off. When they're done, they look like this. Just beautiful. Just a big old bucket full of beets. At this point, it's time to get them ready for the jars. They're washed, they're cleaned up, the skins are off. So I turn that over to my kids, and they just cube them up. I mean, some people do slices. Doesn't matter. You can do slices, you can do pieces, whatever works for you. One thing is when I have the girls putting them into the jars, I find that, the more cubed pieces kind of pack a little tighter and we can push them down. We actually get more beet into the jar. So we end up with a whole bunch of chopped up beets like this. And while one kid is chopping up, the other's stuffing it into jars. The jars are kind of up to you as to what size you want to use. We like using this size of a jar. It seems to work the best for us. We don't have, larger jars that we want to put beets in because it doesn't work for us meal-wise. So you can see they're pushed in there pretty tight. Once you got them in the jars and they're tight, the next step is to kind of turn around and get some really hot water going. Once you get that hot water going, you want to fill the jars up with hot water. I like to go probably like, quarter of an inch from the top. Now, when you pressure can beets, you're going to lose some water, especially if your pressure canner gets a little bit hot. So, obviously it does because it's a pressure canner, so don't be a little bit surprised if you boil a little water out of the jars. Once I get that all filled up in all these jars, I like to add the little bit of salt. I'm using the salt as kind of like a backup preservative and to enhance the flavor a little bit. So, I put the salt in each one of these, which is great. And again, if you look up like in the Ball canning book, it'll tell you how much to use for quarts versus pints. You should probably be using a pickling salt here. If you use a table salt, it's got anti-caking agents in it, and it might not, work as well because you're displacing the volume of salt by the anti-caking agent. So please use pickling salt for this. Then we head over to the old pressure canner, and I put a whole row in at the bottom, and I put another row above it, and then I fill it to the mark on the side, which is probably only about a third full of water. It really doesn't take as much water as you think. I bet you that the pressure canner probably only has maybe 2 to 3 quarts of water in it when we've got all the jars in. So here all the jars are in and the water's in, and as you can see, they're not floating in water like a hot water bath. There's just enough water in there that we're going to create that steam and get the pressure. I've got the 10 weight on it. The pressure cookers come with different weights. In this case, this is the correct weight for what I want to do. I turn the gas on, we heat it up, and just until the rocker starts to rock like this is what we want. Once we get it rocking, we want to back off the heat and just keep it like that for the time that you need to pressure cook the beets. In most people's situation, you got to take altitude in it. So we're about 1,000 feet above sea level. So, for me, I like to get a good 40 minutes on it. Some people go longer, some people go shorter. Some people are at sea level, some people are up in the mountains. It changes. But if you get yourself a good guidebook like the Ball canning book or the Ball pressure canning books, you'll get the feel of it. So once it's done, you vent it. Once it's vented, you take the lid off. As you can see, I'm kind of taking it off slow. There's a lot of steam in here, folks. When you take these things off, you make sure they're vented. Still be careful when you open them. They're very, very, very hot. As you can see, the jars aren't quite sealed yet because, again, it's hot and it's been, under a lot of pressure and a lot of heat. But once you take them out, within minutes, they start sealing down. We wipe down all the surfaces of the jars just so that we can, show you that they're clean and they're nice, but really when they come out, they're red and they're sticky because, again, you boil some of that beet juice right out of the jar. I appreciate you watching, folks. I hope you liked how we pressure canned our beets here and made some good surplus for winter. Please like and subscribe, and we'll keep putting out great videos like this.